Now, KCAU 9 News starts with your forecast first.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on this gloomy Saturday afternoon. Here's the current view outside of the KCAU 9 studio where you can just see lots of cloud coverage out there, but the good news is the rain has stopped. This view is brought to you by the Port Neal Welding Company. Temperatures across the area are in the 60s at 62 in Sioux City, 63 in Cherokee, and a few 70s popping up down by Tacoma and Albion, and 73 out by O'Neill. Unfortunately, we probably won't see those 70s here in Sioux City this evening. Taking a look at the headlines coming in the full forecast, I'm going to talk about how we're going to be drying out tonight with 80s returning tomorrow, and then a pleasant Labor Day to look forward to. KCAU 9 News at 6 starts right now.
We are Siouxland proud. This is KCAU 9 News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Rebecca Pryor. We begin with breaking news out of Texas as the state's second active shooter situation this month takes more innocent lives. That's our top story. At least one person is dead and several more injured following a shooting in Texas. Authorities say the situation is still ongoing. They say there's a person driving a gold or white Toyota around shopping centers and shooting people from his vehicle. Police in Midland, which is nearby, believe there are two shooters in separate cars. The other car is said to be a UPS van. Police say there are 10 people confirmed injured, but more could be coming. Another shooting to report in Mobile, Alabama that occurred last night during a Friday night football game. 9 people were shot and police have arrested a 17-year-old for the shooting. Katrina Lutrick reports.
The shooting victims range in age from 15 to 47. 6 of them have been treated and released. 3 remain hospitalized. The shooting happened at the end of a high school football game Friday night. After reviewing security footage, police say there was some sort of conflict that led up to the shooting. 17-year-old D'Angelo Parnell, a student at one of the high schools, was arrested. He's charged with 9 counts of attempted murder. Police believe he is the only one who fired any shots. Mobile city officials and school system officials say they will be heightening security procedures beginning next week to ensure something like this doesn't happen again. They say there will be restrictions on what people are allowed to bring inside, and while they haven't been finalized, officials say it will resemble college stadium rules. In Mobile, Alabama, I'm Katarina Lukatich.
If you want to participate in Iowa's Democratic caucus this year, you have to do so in person just like usual. This as the Democratic National Committee has denied the state's plan for a virtual caucus. Rachel Droz has the details.
A fear of hackers tabling the Iowa Democratic Party's plan for allowing people to caucus via telephone.
Tech experts identified a vulnerability with a potential vendor.
Last year, the Democratic National Committee adopted a new rule requiring states to expand ways people can vote in primaries. The intent is to give voters that can't vote in person a chance to participate. The DNC says they'll give Iowa a pass on that for the next election if there's no secure option.
They have mentioned that that's a possibility, but we are working towards finding a solution to this problem. But I don't believe that no one has said to me that we have to have a waiver.
Iowa's rejected plan would have created a virtual caucus, allowing people to participate by using their phones to rank their top candidates. But the DNC says the technology to do that securely doesn't exist.
We still have confidence in our vendors. We still have confidence in the process. But if the DNC does not believe that the technology exists and that the process can be secure, then we can't go forward with our plans that we originally put forward.
Now that this decision has come down, the party is going to brainstorm on how to move forward.
We're taking this news just like everyone else, and we are working to make sure that this process, to see what options are available to us with the time we have left.
5 candidates will square off an October primary for Sioux City City Council. Rhonda Capron is the only current council member running for re-election. She faces Michael Bila, Michael O'Connor, Rosario Perez Jr., and Julie Scheinenhauer. Because more than 2 candidates filed, a primary election is set for October 8th. Only the top 2 voter getters advance to the November 5th general election. In the mayor's race, incumbent Bob Scott is being challenged by Maria Rundquist. Sioux City's Morningside College has reached a major milestone this year, celebrating 125 years as an institution. And to mark the occasion, the Sioux City Public Museum has put up an exhibit of memorabilia for classes gone by. Among the items are yearbooks, letter jackets, and pamphlets going all the way back to 1898. Over the years, Morningside College has had quite an impact on our community.
over the years, and so that's really a type of economic development into your community. And so in just a whole host of ways, a college or university is just a bedrock institution for a city.
The exhibit debuted today and will be on display until November. Another Morningside accomplishment to announce: the college has created its first doctoral program with a Doctor of Nursing practice. The 30-credit program will be launched this fall. It will be delivered online and is designed for working nurses seeking advancement in their field. Some folks didn't let the rain stop them from enjoying an art-filled festival at the 26th Annual Art Splash in Riverside Park. More than 100 artists are selling their pieces in Riverside Park throughout the weekend, which includes everything from jewelry, paintings, and pottery. Beyond the artwork, there's entertainment for the whole family with a kids' activity zone and food vendors. Organizers say it's a way to connect the public to artwork of all kinds.
It's a part of our mission to make sure that the visual arts are brought to the community, that people have exposure to the fine arts, and so this is one way in which we're able to do that.
Proceeds from the festival help fund the Sioux City Art Center's education and exhibition programs year-round, as well as keeps the center free to the public. Makerspace is, of course, known for making and creating goods, but today it was home to goods being bought and traded at their first ever swap meet. The group held an industrial-style rummage sale where folks could sell their raw materials for others to buy for future creations. Everything from steel, wire tools, and other items were available, bringing different types of makers into one collective space.
As a group, there's different people, engineers and retired people that have a lot of talent and ability to pass on. That it's a viable resource. Like in the old days, the apprenticeships and the way things used to work, everybody worked together, and that's how it is here. So.
These events will continue to take place the last week of every month, giving vendors an affordable outlet to sell or swap their wares. A 17-year-old in Nebraska says she knows never to let people who are buying items from an online listing to come to your home, but she thought it would be okay when a grandmother wanted to buy a doll that she was selling. She's now regretting that decision. Michelle Mander has video of the intense confrontation.
17-year-old Sophie Wetzel started collecting American Girl dolls when she was a kindergartner.
Each Christmas, that was her Santa Claus gift.
But now that she's a senior, she's outgrown the dolls.
I've made some good money off of them.
Sophie sells her dolls on Facebook Marketplace and always meets the buyers in a public place.
Everything went perfectly fine until...
Oh, and we can switch it.
Get out of my house! Until this happened.
Get out of my saying, "What do you want?" And she's like, "I want my doll."
Get out! A few days before the scuffle, Sophie and her mom thought it would be okay to do an exchange at home.
It should be a safe place. Why not? It's an American Girl doll. It's a grandma.
They say the 64-year-old woman bought the doll and left, but later decided she wanted a different doll.
She had just kept on texting me, and I was like, no. Like, I'm done with this.
The next day, they say the woman showed up unannounced 3 times. Sophie was home alone.
Maybe like 10 or 15 minutes later, I was sitting down eating dinner, and then she came back, and so I hid under the table.
Sophie says her mom was there for the final visit.
Oh my God, get out!
Sophie says she opened the door and the woman forced her way inside. Her mom, who was in the bathtub, ran downstairs with her phone recording.
I go to grab the doll to get it back to Sophie. She comes up and grabs my neck.
You can see a hand around Kristen's neck.
I was so scared at the moment. I was freaking out.
They say they finally got the woman to leave.
That's why you don't have these people come over.
Just always be on the defense. Mm-hmm. Even if you're selling a sweet American Girl doll to a sweet little grandma,
get out!
Assume that they're crazy.
You're not getting.
Police did locate the woman who bought the doll. They ticketed her with third-degree assault. Hurricane Dorian slowly moving over the Atlantic with the likelihood of making landfall in Florida early next week as a Category 4 hurricane.
Be the most significant storm we've had in a couple of decades here in Orlando.
Orlando joining the long list of major cities declaring a state of emergency as they prepare for the storm to hit and the flooding that could follow. Today, President Trump approved an emergency declaration for Florida, deploying thousands of soldiers and airmen from Florida's National Guard. Thousands of others are on standby. And people from all over the country are helping prepare for when the rain hits, including several right here in Siouxland. There are nearly 120 volunteers throughout the Sioux City area who may be called to come help aid those in the disaster after the hurricane makes landfall.
We have volunteers who will be ready to leave when they are requested. So they are getting their personal things in order so that they'll be ready to travel pretty quickly. Oftentimes when they get that call, they are on a plane in less than 24 hours.
A group of volunteers will also be taking down the disaster aid vehicle from Sioux City. Its primary use is for serving meals. If you're looking to help, you can donate at the American Red Cross website. That's redcross.org. Now joined by meteorologist Caitlin Lohr. Some scary stuff that's coming for Florida and the East Coast.
Yeah, you know, I've been keeping track of that, and with the meteorologists down there, they have been working very hard to keep up with this story and Dorian coming into the coast. It's going to be catastrophic and very, very sad. So if you're out that way, make sure you stay safe and listen to what the safety officials say. It's always that way, especially here with tornadoes too when we have that season come up.
But luckily no tornadoes in the near future this week.
No tornadoes, and we're going to be drying out tonight. So we're even done with the rain that we saw earlier today. And speaking of being done with the rain, you can see that it's pretty dry out there now. Might still be wet in the grass areas and the trees, but this is the current view downtown Siouxland, where the French fries or Sioux City sculpture is now officially blue with that new coat of paint. This view is brought to you by the Ho Chunk Center. Temperatures around the area are on that cool side today, coming in at 62 in Sioux City, 63 in Cherokee, a little bit cooler at 61 in Storm Lake, and a few 70s popping up down in Takema, and 73 out in O'Neill. Unfortunately, here in Sioux City, we will not see those 70s today. Taking a look at wind speeds across the area, we do have a light breeze from the east-southeast between 5 and 15 miles per hour, currently sitting about 12 miles an hour here in Sioux City, 5 miles an hour in Lamar's, and 8 miles an hour in Storm Lake as well as Cherokee. That light breeze out there is making it feel a little bit cooler, especially after those showers this morning and early afternoon. So take a look at the satellite radar imagery. You can see those scattered showers early this afternoon, but between 2 and 3 p.m. they started to clear out, leaving us with dry conditions. And now as we take a look at the stormcast, you can see dry conditions are going to be staying through the evening, with the exception of a few light scattered showers in the Nebraska area, as well as up to our northeast by Sioux Center and Spirit Lake. But most of those will be clearing out by 11 p.m. tonight. However, we have a few more showers as well as a thunderstorm or two possible moving in around 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Most of this is going to stay north of Sioux City by Vermilion. That's going to be going over to Sioux Center, becoming a little more intense at 6 a.m. Just some general thunderstorms, nothing to be concerned of there. And then those are going to continue heading east, clearing out by about 11 a.m. with the exception of a few very light lingering showers possible by Sioux Center. Again, that's 11 a.m. Then we could see a few more light scattered showers until 2 p.m. up by that Spirit Lake area, but mostly dry tomorrow across the area except for up to our north there. Now, tonight we are going to cool down a bit with a low of 59. It's going to clear up just a little bit. You might be able to get a peek at those northern lights tonight, but you might have to travel a little bit for more clear skies. It's going to be dry and breezy. Tomorrow we're going to warm up with a high of 82, and it'll be dry again and seasonal, but those winds are going to stay. Here's a quick look at the track for Hurricane Dorian. It's now a Category 4. It reached that strength yesterday afternoon and evening, and now it's looking like it's going to take a little bit of a curve, not hitting Florida directly on, but still going to affect Florida and those southern east coast there just north of Florida into Georgia as well as the Carolinas. Now here's a look at your 9-on-9 forecast for the weekend and upcoming week. 82 and sunny, or partly sunny tomorrow as well as Monday. It's going to be pleasant, dry both days. Few afternoon showers possible on Tuesday, but those aren't going to be in until between 12 and about 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Then we're going to be dry again. We're going to see that sun come out, few 80s return, with more showers returning next Friday, but those aren't going to be till late Friday night into the overnight hours, and so far not looking to be affecting those Friday night light football games.
Sounds good. I know last Friday, not too much rain. Wasn't too bad out there.
No, we actually didn't see as much as it was looking like we were going to see, which was very light to begin with, but I'm glad it held off for that first football game of the season.
Yes, and hopefully for the second as well. All right, thanks so much, Caitlin. Thank you guys for watching our first ever digital newscast. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed giving it to you. All right, well.